Hello, my name is Zach Eppers. I'm here at Coachmen RV today. Today I'd like to go over the foundation of a Coachmen Class A gas motorhome. And I'd also like to talk about the differences between the new Ford V8 compared to the older Ford V10. So first off, to go over the foundation, one thing unique about Coachmen is we are a Ford certified manufacturer. We're one of the few manufacturers that's Ford certified. And why that's important, why that's different, is because our engineers that work on the foundation also are going to work on the house. Most manufacturers, their engineers just work on the house portion, and a lot of times there's kind of a disconnect between what's going on in the foundation and what's going on in the house. So again, one thing nice is that our engineers not only work on the box portion, the house portion, but also the foundation. And really they use their knowledge to really make sure that whatever we're doing to the house and whatever we're doing to the foundation work with one another, and that's what ultimately leads to a nicer drive and a nicer riding motorhome. So one thing that we do is we use an 1.5 inch thick tubular steel for our foundation. And why that's important is because a lot of manufacturers will use aluminum. Why we use steel is because it's a lot denser, it's a lot stronger than aluminum. So again, it's going to do a much better job of holding that excess weight. It's going to give you a much smoother ride because you're not going to be bouncing all over or anything like that. The other thing we do is we use an inverted truss system. So what's unique about that is all your weight from the slide outs your kitchen on the outer parts of your motorhome, all that weight is going to be transferred to the center of your motorhome, lower to the Ford chassis portion, which is the strongest part of your motorhome. So again, all that additional weight is all being pushed down low where it's lower to the ground. It's the strongest part of the motorhome as well. So that's going to give you a much better ride. Where if your motorhome didn't do that, when you turned, you'd have a lot more weight on the exterior and you'd feel like you're almost falling over. Okay? Another thing that we do different than other manufacturers is we use Weld Boots for our trusses. And what that does is it gives us more precision and it makes everything leveled and squared. So when we put that foundation on and that floor on, it's going to line up a lot better than a lot of other things out there on the market. Another thing we do a little different here at Coachmen compared to other manufacturers is we elongate our wheelbases. And why that's important is because Ford suggests that 52% of the overall length be in between your two axles. Here at Coachmen, most of our floor plans are that, if not greater. If you have a bad or a poor wheelbase to length ratio, where that excess overhang is, you're going to have more weight back there, and it works just like a teeter-totter. You get more weight on the rear. That's where you get a porpoising effect because you have less friction between the tires and pavement because that rear is really wanting to lift up. So again, a nice thing we do is elongate that wheelbase, better weight distribution, more weight in between your two axles. All that weight again is going to be towards the center of your Ford chassis component, lower center of gravity, a much better ride. The other small things that we do compared to other manufacturers is we're going to use a steel firewall up here too. It's going to keep road noise. It's safer than if it's wood, again, compared to what some other manufacturers do out there. So the next thing I'd like to talk to you about is the difference between the V8 and V10. In 2020, Ford went from a V10 to a V8. So any F53 Ford chassis that's a 2020 is going to have that V8. And what you get with that V8 is about 9% more horsepower than what you were getting on the V10 and 2% more torque. The other thing that you're going to get is ABS, which allows you to brake quicker. You get anti-hill assist or hill assist. So if you start kind of going backwards, it's automatically going to brake. A couple other things that you get is the dash is upgraded. It's going to look a lot nicer. Your V8 motor sits 4 inches lower, so the doghouse is 4 inches lower on the inside. It's a lot easier getting in and out of your cockpit now than what it was before. A couple other items that we do at Coachmen compared to other manufacturers is we're going to add jounce bumpers, shock absorbers, front rear track stabilizing bars. The front track stabilizing bars is for every floor plan that we make that has a GVWR of 18,000 pounds or greater. And again, those are just some of the small things that we do compared to other manufacturers out there to improve the ride, to improve the drivability of our Class A motorhomes. So I'd like to thank you for your time today. If you have any other questions, please visit our website at www.coachmenrv.com.